2, 3.
You want to shoot over your right shoulder? On the left side.
Don't hide away the things you're feeling.
Reloading.
Unlock your mind and lose
Back into some building. Back up.
There's a universe inside you. You should never have to hide. I can see the stars inside you.
Alright, hey guys, it's me getting the Airsoft and Ginger, and today I'm going over a quick review of my KWA Ronin PDW. This one right here. You guys may have seen this in a few videos of mine. I've used it in plenty of gameplay videos at my new quote-unquote home field, UCAUS Airsoft out in Galt, California, about 15-20 minutes outside of Sacramento. I've used this gun quite a bit there, and I've also used it at my most recent milsim game, I guess you can say, Operation High Tide from Maritime Milsim out in Alameda, California on the USS Hornet. This gun was definitely interesting to first use. By that, I mean if you guys watch my first gameplay with this, you'll know I was having hop-up issues. I couldn't figure out why for the life of me, but I was having the most issues with it. Later to find out, at one point I was like, you know, there's got to be a break-in period for the bucking. That has to be the answer. Because it would do fine for about 10 or so shots, and then it would go 5 feet and drop. And then I'd get a few of those, I'd have to adjust the hop up real quick, and I'd get really good shots again, then it would drop. So yeah, and then recently I watched a video from Airsoft GI talking about how when they're doing their, what was it, their top 5 or 4 AEGs under $400, they had talked to a KWA representative, and that person had told them that there is a break-in period with the bucking. So, if you are going to buy this gun, be aware there is a break-in period. So your hop-up and stuff may not work right away, right outside the box. Just be aware of that break-in period, and if you are aware of that, and you feel comfortable purchasing the gun after that, go for it. This gun gets actually pretty decent range. I'm surprised. I got quite a few kills from a little over 100 feet maybe. It does start to lag in that once you hit that point, because it is only a 6-inch barrel, so you are limited to about a barrel and rail that you can touch end to end with, in my case, my middle finger and thumb, maybe even index and thumb, almost. But it's really about the size of my hand, pointing pinky to thumb. So your range isn't going to be the best. CQB, you're golden. I guess I'll go over the externals first, and I apologize if I'm not looking straight at the camera. I have my laptop right here recording it, and with my notes I have on it. So, right here, the rail section, fully metal. You got a fully metal rail, a full metal outer barrel, a plastic mock suppressor. Now the mock suppressor is not that big. It only goes up to about the end of this first key point, or key mod attachment point, I guess you can say. It's very small. It's about smaller than my thumb. It's really small. The barrel goes up the inner barrel, and you guys can't see because I painted it already. But the orange part is like right there where my fingertip is, all the way up, and then it covers this whole front face. I painted it because, oh my god, it's just a big target basically that's right there. Otherwise, your inner barrel does go to right about here, at the very end of the orange tip, where the orange part meets up with the black mock suppressor. Is where your orange tip, or your outer barrel, sorry, ends. So if you are planning to run a tracer in this, you gotta get a shorter barrel. Somehow you've gotta find a shorter barrel, because the inner barrel does go past the outer barrel, so tracer units will be a little tough to use on this gun. Although really cool to use, it'll be slightly impossible with the current inner barrel. You also have a metal upper and lower receiver, a metal trigger, metal charging handle, metal dust cover, metal mock bolt. Let's see. There is an imitation gas block in here, right about in this location, and you see the tube right here. As far as I know, that's metal. I haven't really tested it because it's just there for looks, honestly. There's no real purpose for it in airsoft. You have a metal bullet assist. These two prongs right here on the stock, these two are metal. Metal charging handle. The only polymer pieces on here that I've found so far are your polymer backup iron sights, but they're polymer. Polymer stock with the cheek thing. This buffer tube is polymer. The cap for your battery compartment is polymer. And what else? Your pistol grip. This thing that's polymer. Your trigger guard is polymer. What else did I put down? That's basically it. Threads on this are 14mm negative, and I believe that's 14mm clockwise. I know e-bike isn't very consistent with it. They'll put negative or counterclockwise or CCW or CW. Very confusing. I don't know why they just can't use one term. Counterclockwise or clockwise. That's easier for me to memorize. But this is 14mm negative and or counterclockwise, I believe. The only real trademarks on here are KWA RN-6 PDW right up here. I don't know if this is in focus or not, but hopefully it is. I can just zoom in on it. Right here, you got the KWA brand name, VM4 Ronin, caliber 6mm, serial number, a very long number in the US, and up here it says built to perform. Right here, it also says manufactured in Taiwan. I believe that's all the trades on here. Time to scroll down. Where was I? Internals. Inside this gun, you are running the KWA AEG 2.5 mech box, gearbox, I don't know what they're calling it. So it's basically what was in their VM4 line of guns. Right back in the stock area, there's a point where you take a Phillips head screwdriver, you unscrew that, pull that screw and a small little plate off. I'll show you guys here in a second. And in there's a little slot for an Allen key, a 2.5mm Allen key that you can use to adjust your FPS. Out of breath. You have a 200mm inner barrel. This is actually a first for me that I've seen in a long time from KWA. A single piece hop-up unit. In order to get to your hop-up unit, you take your charging handle, pull it back, and it's this little wheel right here. The nice thing about this on there, I can't show you guys, it's impossible to see on camera, I've tried it before. On there, on the hop-up, it says hop at the arrow pointing up. So to increase your hop-up, you rotate it up. To decrease, rotate it down. Now I don't think you'll be able to hear it from here, so I'm going to get close to my mic and let you guys listen to the hop-up unit when you turn it. So as you guys may have heard, hopefully, this hop-up unit is clicking. It does click, which is really nice. So it's reminiscent of the Crytek hop-up unit in a way. So it's really nice. Because I know in my case, on my current Polar Star Mark 18 build, I got a Pro-Win hop-up in there. For those that use Pro-Wins, you know they don't click. It's really smooth rotation on there, which is nice. It's easy to adjust it on the fly, but at the same time, it doesn't quite hold very well. At least in my case, it doesn't quite hold very well. So I'm literally adjusting it on the fly a lot when I'm playing on the field, which isn't a bad thing, but it is kind of irritating because it's not like I can just go to the game and just, bam, my gun shooting lasers. It's like, whoop, it's shooting a little high, gotta decrease it. Bam, oh, it's a little too low now, gotta increase it. Kind of irritating. But with the clicking one on the KWA, it's really nice. It clicks, it stays in place, it hasn't moved since. This gun, I have, it can hop at 2 O's, no problem. 2 5s, no problem. 2 8s, I found are the best working BBs in it, especially even on the lowest FPS setting. They coast. There's no problem with them. As you guys will see in the Chrono section here in a little bit, you'll see that it's a very constant FPS. I'll throw in the average somewhere on screen too. The FPS range on this, from my readings, on this personal gun myself that I just did outside, on a .20 gram BB, it goes anywhere from 350 to about 410. And that's a lot for a little 6-inch barrel gun. I mean, that's a little high. Thankfully, it's adjustable, so you can loosen it down. In terms of upgrading it, I don't know. For the most part, there are very few things that I know of that you can upgrade. Like your, I believe you can upgrade your gear set, your piston, your nozzle, maybe your trigger. Your motor for sure, because that's easy. But because of the gearbox and the way it is, it's going to be a little difficult to upgrade some of the parts you want to upgrade. Just because of design and the reinforcements in there and the variability and the changing of the FPS. So yeah, the gun weighs around 5.5 to 6 pounds. So it's pretty heavy, but it's not bad for a long game. It's easy to carry. Just put it on a sling and you're good to go. It's not too heavy. The cool thing about this gun, these iron sights or polymer sights are the PTS. What the heck are they called? The PTS Enhanced Polymer Backup Iron Sights. The EP Buis, I think it is. They're actually pretty nice, especially with the. I personally don't like using the small aperture on any iron sights. It's easier for me to see with my eyes because I do have corrected vision with contacts and glasses. So for me personally, it's easier to see with the bigger aperture on the back rather than the small one. The sights are nice, adjustable for elevation on the front, windage on the back. They flip up. They click real nice. The downside to them, they do fall. If you bump them, they can go down pretty easy. It's not that hard to knock them down. But if they're just kind of hanging on your plate carrier, they should be fine. I haven't played a game with just iron sights yet. I'm planning on it soon because I only have one red dot and it's right here on my Mark 18 build, and I don't feel like having to re-zero it every time I use it. So I'm just gonna end up buying a different red dot for this gun anyways. The grip is the PTS Enhanced Polymer Grip Compact. So it's like a grip without the beaver tail right here on the back. So it's just the straight grip, like your standard A2, but the PTS version. Really comfortable grip. I actually have this same exact grip right here on my Mark 18 build. Super comfortable. I am gonna upgrade that to the one with the beaver tail though, because I like that one a little better. That's just personal preference though. The stock, even though the stock is polymer, the material reminds me of the same material used in the PTS grip and the iron sights. It feels the exact same to me. In order to get to the battery compartment, your battery compartment is stored right here in the stock. There's this little button. That's pretty big. Button right here. You're gonna press that. That's what you use to adjust the pull. So yeah, first section, second section. You're gonna press this button, maybe down all the way. Lift this piece up. There's a little tab right here. Press that. Lift it up. It's a little cap. Don't lose this, otherwise you're gonna have fun with the battery. And your battery's housed right here. It's a lot of space for a PDW. It's probably the best space I've ever seen. A friend of mine owns a Crytek PDW. He loves the gun to death, but his one gripe is battery space. In my case, I can fit a Vulcan, 1300 milliamp hour battery, nunchuck style, in there no problem. You do kind of have to fandangle with the wires a little bit just to get them all in there to fit, but a 1300 milliamp hour Vulcan battery will fit in this gun, no problem. Now I personally don't own any buffer tube style batteries, but I would assume since a pretty big 7.4 LiPo 1300 milliamp hour won't fit in here, your standard buffer tube, your your medium-sized buffer tube ones should fit no problem. The batteries I use the most are these iPower 1100 ones. They're just a little thinner because it's not as much juice. It's 1100 versus 1300. A little thinner, a little easier to pack in there, and a little easier to manage the wires. In order to adjust your FPS, we're going to take this cap off. There's a little Phillips head screwdriver, and right about here, if you can see where my finger is, you're going to unscrew that, take the screw out and that plate, and then once you take that out, you're going to take the included, it comes with the gun, which is really nice, the included 2.5mm Allen key screw. Put it in the little hole where the screw was at one point. If you turn it to the right, or turn it clockwise, it'll increase FPS. If you turn it to the left, or counterclockwise, it'll decrease FPS. For each full rotation, I think it's 2.5 FPS increase or decrease. So just kind of keep that in mind. In order, oh, I forgot about this. For mag compatibility, the gun comes with a K120C mag, so that's the one that you can adjust from 120 rounds to 30 rounds. My mag is broken. I broke it. That's my fault. I was trying to fill it to 30 using my Odin speed loader, and I must have blanked and forgot. I put it to 30, and I kept trying to crank it because I knew I could fill more, and I broke it. So this now only holds 120 rounds, but it's whatever. But then I proceeded to break it further when trying to fix it, where when I pull the little release back, this little knob, it's supposed to come out a little bit more than this, but it is what it is at this point. It's whatever. It's not that big a deal anymore. Now, keep in mind, these K120C mags do not fit in the Odin speed loader. They will not click in because of the design. You have to push it in there and hold it, just so you guys know. But when you're in there and you shoot the gun and you run out of ammo and the gun registers, there's a little tab right here in the back that I broke. That's the part that's not working on the gun right now, on the mag right now. That little tab, it'll push up on the bolt catch of the gun, causing the gun to stop firing, kind of like the TM recoil shotguns. Once it stops firing, you have to eject the mag, put a new mag in, hit your bolt release. Once you hit that, you'll hear a little click, and then you should be good to start shooting again. Okay? Now, mag compatibility, as you can see, the K120s work no problem. They feed flawlessly too. The mags I use the most and I have owned for a couple years now are these 6mm Pro Shop polymer Stanag mags, I guess you can say. Yeah, they're 140 rounds. They fit, no problem. They fall pretty easily, but if you're trying to do a fast reload, just drop a mag and put a new one in. They work fine. The most popular mag, I guess, nowadays are the PTS EPMs. This is an old OD green one. They fit and feed no problem. So you'll see in some of my videos I use the PTS, the new Speed QB ones. I want to do reviews on those shortly because I've been having some issues with them. I don't know if it's just my batch or other people's, but I've been having some jamming issues and it's kind of irritating. So I'll probably do a review on that in the future. Did I forget anything? I did. Disassembly. It's pretty much standard. You guys have seen, if you guys don't know what the Ronin is yet, you probably haven't seen the KidUA promo videos. Pretty easy. You take your front body pin, push it in, and on the opposite side, come on this side, pull the pin all the way out. It does stay in place because there's a little channel in here, like a real AR, I guess. There's a little channel in there and the pin inside this bar that keeps the pin from falling out, which is nice because I've lost my body pins a few times on this gun. Take the charging handle, pull it back, and it shoots forward. Once it's off, you can slide it all the way off, and then you can take, and they now sell the rail separately, so you can take new rails and put them on there. Put it back on, just do the opposite of how you took it off. Just gotta do this, make sure you hit the bolt catch, that, this, and ammo. There you go. The accessory I have on here currently that is staying on there for as long as I own this gun is the PTS Fortis Shift Grip in small in key mod. I did that because it's just a lot easier to hold the gun this way. You can use Picatinny rail attachments. It does come with two, like 4 or 5 section Picatinny rail segments on here. You get 2 of them. Put one on the bottom. Put one on your what is this? 5 or 7 o'clock, I guess, and then your 3 and 9 right here, and then your top Picatinny rail for red dots, optics, lasers, lights, whatever have you. So yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll try to get to them as fast as I can and answer them as best as I can. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. KW Ronin using 0.2 gram BBs, taking 10 shots. This is the highest FPS setting. This is the KW Ronin using AEX 0.28 gram BBs on the highest FPS setting level. 10 shots. KWA 0.2 gram BBs, lowest FPS setting, 10 shots. Oops. There we go. Alright, AEX 0.28 gram BBs, KWA Ronin on the lowest FPS setting. 10 shots. Oops, one more. There we go. KWA Ronin, 0.28 gram BBs, about 30 feet. Little burst.